Hello again, everyone. This is Israelite in America, and this is a quick one. But my goodness, the kids aren't safe. I hope you guys know. I hope that we are all aware that the kids are not safe, and I know, I know that most of us Israelites know this, but there are a lot of people that don't know this. And these stories come across, I come across these stories pretty often, fairly often. I can't report on all of them, but I do want to report on some of them. And it's important that I do, and that these things are, there's awareness brought to these things, and that people are aware of the individuals, because this stuff happens all the time, and it's swept under the rug, or it's not accurately punished, or properly punished, I should say, and people keep getting hurt. So this is going to be a quick one, but I'm just giving you guys some information, putting this story out there. It says, and I have to be careful with my words, as you can see. I don't want YouTube going crazy. School safety officer in Lake County arrested on, you can read that right there, charges. And if you're listening, then just take a moment and look at the screen. And if you're watching, good. Says this is Lake County, Florida. I've been there. I used to live in Florida. Very, very nice place, depending on where you go. On Monday, this story is a recent story. This is August 21st, just in case you guys are wondering. On Monday, some parents in Lake County received a notice from the public school district that one of their school safety officers, also known as a school guardian, was arrested on minor problem charges. I'm trying to be careful. You read it yourself. James Wolf, age 50, is in the Lake County jail. Groveland police arrested him on Friday. He faces 21 charges. 21 charges, including no-no battery of a you-know-what, between 12 and 18 years old, and giving obscene material to a minor. Okay, so this guy is a sicko, and probably I'm putting here the G YouTube, a grapist, probably as well. Not probably, he is. What am I saying? He is a grapist, but it's probably, I'm saying the charges that you're seeing are worse. The reality is worse than the charges that we're hearing. According to Lake County Schools, Wolf was hired as a guardian this year. Wolf was hired as a guardian this year at Mount Dora High School. School guardians are not active law enforcement and carry a gun on campus to provide more options to respond to school pew-pews. Okay, so this guy is in a position. This says he's not active law enforcement, and we're gonna get into a little bit more of that in just a second. It says he's not active law enforcement, meaning that he just doesn't carry a police uniform and a badge at the moment. But he's still armed. Okay, so he still can shoot you if he so decides. And just take this into consideration, that this guy was put in a position to protect children. He had authority to protect these kids. Their lives was in his hands, and this is what he was doing. How does somebody? Oh, you would say, well, this just slipped by the cracks. No, it didn't. No, this didn't. And watch this. We'll keep going. The school district said Wolf was first hired in August 2021 and worked as a custodian and later in maintenance. So he's been at the school by this time for 2-ish years, 2 years and a quarter, something like that. Last Thursday, Groveland Police Department got a call from DCF about an allegation of sexual abuse against a child. After detectives investigated, police arrested Wolf and said in a statement, initial details of the incident imply the abuse has possibly been ongoing for years, and that similar crimes may also have occurred in Altamont Springs. According to Altamont Springs Police, Wolf used to work for them. This is what I'm talking about. They're like, it's been ongoing for years. Once we investigated, now that's come to light. It's been ongoing for years, and similar crimes may have occurred in Altamont Springs. What? What does this have to do with it? He used to be a police officer. He used to be an active police officer. See, this is what I'm talking about. He was hired as a police officer in 1996 after several minor policy violations. Really? They said he was demoted to a civilian position in 2003. How much do you guys want to bet that these were more than just minor policy violations? Hmm? Hmm? This says minor policy violations. How? But it was bad enough for them to demote him and such. And as we know, police departments do not the worst they'll do. I mean, someone kills someone, an officer kills someone, and it's bad. It's looking really bad. They'll put them on paid leave. Okay, hey, take a vacation. Take a vacation while we try and figure this stuff out. Also, just a quick note here: civilian position. He was, as you guys can see, he was still able to carry a gun and such. Civilian position doesn't mean he didn't have a job. It just means he might handle anything from, being an investigator for the department or for the state, or something like this, working with kids, supposed to protect them, or even he might be in the lab or something like that. So it doesn't mean that he was kicked out at this time. It just mean they took him from being on active patrol would be a better way to say it. So that was in 2003. His employment was terminated in 2010. Okay, so that's 7 years later from there. 2010, after his FMLA protection was exhausted and the city did not grant extended leave. And that's just his, in other words, he was able to be on unpaid leave, claiming, for family. It doesn't say exactly what family, but he was able to have leave and not be fired. But then they ended up firing him. So, in other words, this guy is less than a model citizen, let's just say. And I use that that's the nicest way I could say it. Hold on. Altamont Springs Police said in a statement, Groveland police investigators believe that there may be past offenses that occurred while Wolf lived in the Altamont Springs area after leaving employment with the city. Notice they put that. Notice they have to say, after leaving, right? They don't want to, because they can't say, in Altamont City back when he was over there. No, they have to say after leaving the department. I would put money on the fact that these things were occurring while he was with the department. And that's probably why, because this is how these things work, that's probably why he was demoted and taken off the streets, because people were complaining. But in 1996 and 2003, body cams weren't really a thing. So, just take that into consideration. So, anyway, let's move on. Not going to be a very long video. Police in Altamont Springs and Groveland are now working together to see if there are any more alleged victims. Yeah, When WESH 2 News, which is this site that I'm on, asked the school district about Wolf's arrest, a spokesperson said they are unaware of any connections to the school or district. As for Wolf's job at Mount Dora High School, the district said all recommendations for termination. Blah, 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 blah. He's being held on no bond. Okay, so again, he was demoted and then fired. Okay, so, and this school then got his record and looked at it and, this would be a fine person to put in front of kids. This would be fine. But I'm not going to squarely blame the school. First off, it's not this thing, it's not the school's fault for this monster. But the fact that there was not an arrest, but a record that this guy had, should have given them at least hesitation before putting him armed in front of kids. And like I said, I will almost guarantee you that this guy was doing this when he was a police officer, when he had even greater impunity to do so, and no one could tell him no. And this is why the video is titled, Your Kids Are Not Safe from These Police Officers. They are not safe. This is not an isolated incident, and this is one of the milder ones. If I can be so bold as to use such a gross description of this, it's because it's not mild and it's not moderate, but compared to what some of these officers are doing, I'll show you. And here's a picture of the scumbag, because I'm going to show his picture, show his face. There's a picture of the scumbag. But I also wanted to show you because I could do this all day. Right? North Carolina cop accused of no assault is fired, arrested with CP, chief says. Okay, and this is from August 2nd. It was updated August 2nd. Okay, here's a picture of this scumbag. Okay, an 11-year Mooresville patrol officer. So he was on the force 11 years. Was arrested and fired Wednesday, just days after a girl reported to police that should be she, or no, he, my mistake, reported to police that he, assaulted her over several years, and this is just one. Police Chief Ron Camprusciani, I don't know, man, said former officer Matthew Beebe, 37, was arrested at his home in Sherrills Ford on 4 counts of felony third-degree exploitation of a minor. Camprusciani said at a Wednesday news conference at police headquarters. The charges relate to what the chief called that found on Beebe's phone after his arrest. Yeah, so in other words, it's about what we found in his phone, not the other thing, not the claim. The other investigation is going to drag out, he said, because it's a police officer. There's an exam, there's other things that need to get done, and there may be other victims that come forward, so that's going to take time. So in other words, they're going to just stifle it. Oh, the investigation's going to drag out. And this means, what does this mean? The investigation? Oh, it's going to take us a while to investigate ourselves. It's going to take us a while to decide what we will and will not release to the public. Okay? So this minor that came out and said, hey, this is what happened. Now she's out there. She's in danger. She's shamed. And nothing might even be done because he's not even being arrested on this charge. He's being arrested on what was found in his phone. As now, any rational human would think, wait, this was on his phone? Yeah, this dude was guilty all up and down. What we need to do now is find proof and build a case against him. This dude is a sicko. But no, you see, the language is not that. The language is, he shouldn't have had this on his phone. But, the other thing, that was just, it's going to take some time. There's stuff that needs to be done. We got to decide what we release to the public, blah, 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 which is what the chief is actually saying. And then it's just, he was surprised to see they were there. He was jailed under a $60,000 secured bond. The arrest is a black eye on the department. Yeah, I bet it is. Police are still investigating the girl's allegations and expect to file charges related to assaults, the chief said. They did not disclose rate. So they expect to file charges related to the assaults, plural. Which means they know it's true. If they're expecting to file charges, which means they know that it's true. That's what that means, guys. They know it's true, and there is more than one victim. And what needs to be done is every person, but especially women and girls, every time this piece of scum arrested them or there was a complaint launched against them with anything that he was dealing with, all those cases need to be looked at. And in my opinion, unless the complete, solid, undeniable proof to the contrary exists against the people the girls and women that were arrested or had something done to them, well, no, arrested, not had something done to them. All those cases need to be dropped because this criminal, this piece of scum, was the one arresting, and he's gross. Anyway, just gonna end this video here. Yeah, it's dangerous out there, guys. The police force, as it stands, especially for Israelites, us Israelites here in America, but for people, just the general public at large, these police are not your friends. They are not here for your good. They are here to enforce unjust laws. And your kids are not safe. I could have gone on and on and on over just pulling up stories recent stories, not stories from years ago, recent stories of officers involved in things like this, the stories I just recounted. And these are the ones that are caught, people. These are the ones that are caught, that make stupid mistakes, or someone comes forward or something. These are the ones that are caught. So many more are not caught. It's disgusting. Anyway, subscribe. Yes, if you made it this far, subscribe. Give the video a like, share, and I'll see you next time.